Hello, good morning, afternoon, or night. My name is Marco Jesus Guerrero Blanco from the group 21, and this is my project. This is my science project. It's titled Sunscreen and Their Effectiveness. To start, we are going to see a little bit of the history of the sunscreens. Since ancient times, our ancestors felt the need to protect themselves against the sun rays. The oldest known sunscreen dates back to 7800 before Christ, which consisted of a mixture of magnolia extract, jasmine, and almond oil. In, in 400 before Christ, during the Olympic Games in Greece, some athletes used a mixture of olive oil and sand in order to protect themselves from the sun rays. The origin of the first sunscreen cream arose in the wake of the Second World War, since soldiers suffered all kinds of burns from being exposed to the sun for long days. It was then in 1944, the pharmacist Benjamin Green discovered that paraffin created a layer that, applied to the skin, prevent the rays from passing through it and burning it. With this, he created the first sunscreen. However, it had a limited effectiveness. Later in 1962, Dr. Guerrero introduced sun protection factor (SPF), the global standard level for determining the effectiveness of sunscreen when it has appeared on the skin. The product he created had an SPF of 2. Since then, the sunscreen industry has evolved a lot. Currently, the sunscreen has become an indispensable product to your vacations and for your daily life because prevent sunburns, which can increase the risk of skin cancer. For that, it's important to know which sunscreen is better to be able to choose that one that really protects you. There is different sunscreens with different SPF. Now, a normal question that we have is a sunscreen with a higher SPF more effective in protecting against UV rays? Well, we are going to see it. The objective, how I say, is demonstrate which sunscreen is most effective according to its sun protection factor, SPF. Now, and my hypothesis is a sunscreen with a higher SPF will be more effective in protecting against UV rays because of the price and for the bigger and for the because for the price and for the bigger SPF. Now, the materials that I use for this experiment are plastic beads that change color when they are exposed to UV rays. There we are. The sunscreens of different SPF, the different sunscreens, the one from 30 SPF, 45 SPF, 50 SPF, 55 SPF, and cars, and finally containers. Maybe you can recognize all the materials, but the one which we are going to use and the most important are the UV beads. The operation of the UV beads are originally white, how we can see in this image, but when they are exposed to the sun, they change radically to bright colors. Here are the comparison with no sun, with sun. There is an example of how they work. we can see very very quickly changes of color. There is different types of colors: pink, yellow, purple, and we can see that they are very bright, very bright. And the process: the beads were roughly divided equally, put in separate bags, and sunscreen was added to them. We can see that we add the sunscreen to the UV beads. And the next step was then they were put in equal containers. We put the UV beads in containers. How we can see this. In one of the containers we put beads without sunscreen as a control. There is the container with no sunscreen. This is for watch how they work without any sunscreen and see in what colors and how they work basically. They and in the four containers had the sunscreens. There is the 50, the 30, 45, 50, and 55. In the other accounts with sunscreen of different SPF were put in how I say. And they were labeled to know what they are and supposed to design. Before there is the cards. These are the cards to watch which was which. And before to expose them to the sun, we put a box up to the beads to outside. Remove the box and see how is the reaction. There is the results of the screen. We can see very fast change to all the beads. Here we can see colors, but we can see the sunscreens have an effect. We can watch that they are in the sun, and there is a lot of white beads. We can see the white, except in the one of six of control. There is a video from all the beads, but alone everyone. The control has a lot of changes from the other ones. The 30, we can see there is a lot of pink and yellow, yes. And well, okay. In these two are the SPF is changed for 5, the 50 and the 55, and we can see there is a lot of changes. We can watch there is a lot of purple beads, and these are very white. There is a lot of more color here than here. Here is a comparison of everyone. We are going to see alone every container. On the 31, we can watch that they aren't white beads. They are like yellow beads with a little of opacity. There is more pink and purple. In the 45, we can see that In this one, they have a white color a lot. Here we can watch pink and pink, yes, pink and purple. Here you can watch brown beads. We can see that in every one other has no this color that they are here. Now in the 51 there is a little change with the 45. In the 51 we have a lot of white beads, a little bit of purple and pink. It has a lot of white beads, the most of all each other. In the 55, we can see that it's a very lot of purple and pink, but we can see beads with like a cover color here. Any other one doesn't have this color. Here is our results table for a very conclusion. The ratings were assigned according to the observation, coming as 0 the controlled beads that did not have a blocker, that have a sunscreen, and then a 1 twos that change color. The most and so on obtaining a 4 twos that change color the least. Here are the sunscreens, the grades, and the qualification. The sunscreen number 1 was the control, having a qualification of 0. The sunscreen number 2 has the 30 SPF, having a qualification of 1. The sunscreen number 3, the 45 SPF, have a qualification of 3. The sunscreen number 4 of the 50 SPF had a qualification of 4. And finally, the sunscreen number 5 of the 55 SPF have a qualification of 2. You can see it. Here is the same, but with a graphic, a graphic in Pittsburgh, and it's the same, but it's more visual. You see the SPF of 50 have the best qualification of each other. Here are the results one more time. And how we can see in the graphic and in the table, the SPF with 50 sunscreen was the best of all others, because the white beads don't change. Only a little bit change. Having a pink and a purple color, but any other one is white. So we can say that the 50 SPF, the sunscreen with 50 SPF are the best of the market. As a conclusion, we can say that the 55 SPF, then in the hypothesis, I say that the 55 it was going to be the better, but we see that the 51 was the better. Also, the 45 is a lot better than the 55. And another thing that we observed is that they aren't sunscreens that blocks the sun rays in 100%. So it's very important. Don't stay a lot of time in the sun. Thank you for listening.